coming back. I'm not coming back. I mean, I don't think this was too hard anyways. No, I can actually skip the cutscene. Oh wait, I'm fucking synced. I forgot. And I have a. I can have nearly any of my fucking abilities. Bum, bum. Oh, wasn't paying attention. Oh boy. Oh no, somebody fell. Who died? On our GPS? Oh fuck. Oh god. Oh my god, I just fucking got him too many at a time. We're too grouped up. Oh, my God. Bear Crags. I was about to jump off again. Mountain Dew shampoo. All right, listen. I use. What do I use? I actually don't know what it is I use. All I know is I smell good. Good. Been a while. How you been? What you been up to? The deed is done then. Titan is no more? No, Titan is dead. Titan is deaded. Good. There has been enough tragedy this day. Does it say 3-in-1? If so, you're good. No, I didn't use 3-in-1 shampoo, actually. Been sleepy? I've been out here grinding this game. It's been a real fun time. He has been like that since he regained consciousness. We believe he can hear us, but he has made no attempt to respond. He is almost certainly still in shock, but we cannot discount the possibility that he succumbed to the Primal's influence. Should that prove to be the case, he must be put to death like any other thrall. Such is the Alliance's policy, yes? You have the right of it. We must not rush to conclusions, after all. We once feared that Isael's followers were beyond reason, and many have since laid down their arms and accepted Ishgard's peace. We can but watch, wait, and pray. I would join the VC with you people sometimes, but it would seem the only one I ever speak to is you. I'm barely in there for since I started playing this, though. I'm usually in there like really late. But yeah, it would seem like that. We can watch, wait, and pray. Hopefully the little guy is alright. He saw his parents dead. There is naught to be gained from dwelling on an eventuality over which we have no control, much less one which may never even come to pass. Let us tend to more immediate matters, informing Commander Bleeden of Titan's demise, for example. You may be certain that he will be glad of the news. Would you be so kind as to break it to him? Sure, I'll tell him. Where is that? Sassafras. Hello, I killed the Titan. You're safe for Sorais. When the others came back without you, I feared the worst, but they said you have the matters well in hand. Yep, I killed the beach. All settled then, is it? I'm glad to hear it, but not half as glad as my men will be. Believe you me. Regardless of whether or not he was summoned properly, a primal's a primal. There ain't a soul in the maelstrom that hasn't lost a friend to one. Don't get me wrong, like, we were all prepared to do our part, but we weren't so naive as to think we lived to tell the tale. Thankfully, of course, it didn't come to that, which, my friend, sounds to me like cause for celebration. Now, I know you lot have places to be, but why not stay the night? We'd be honored to raise a glass to the triumphant return of Titan's Bane. Working on cars and starting to try and get in college automotive technology? Oh, damn, that's big stuff. Hopefully you're able to do that. I wonder where Alex is going. But the kobold, no less. The pretty stars.
Who goes there?
Probably me. Down.
Oh, it's you. Forgive me for straying from the camp. He hasn't been feeling too welcome, to say the least. I thought a change of scenery might do him good. But, alas. so quiet out here. The stars spread out before us, beckoning across time and space.
Currently working on my 71 Chevelle? My 88 Firebird. Practice. Oh, damn.
Dawn may banish even the darkest night. How bitterly beautiful, those words. I should be stronger for all my experiences, yet my heart aches more than ever. I never understood why Grandfather gave his life that day. I thought that if I came here, I would find the answers I needed. But when I finally laid eyes on the land he sacrificed everything to save, saw firsthand the bickering, the pettiness, I was disappointed. I was angry. I could not fathom how these people were more deserving of his love than his family, than me. Nevertheless, I had to believe he had good reason. I was determined to uncover the whole truth of the calamity and, perhaps in so doing, find my own purpose in this sea of chaos.
Do you need to have old cars? Yeah, I mean, I've never really been a card person. You sound like quite the cars.
My travels
are
have
older
been
than me.
enlightening, but I cannot say that I have enjoyed them. I have lost count of the many petty crises that I was helpless to resolve and of the people whose actions I could not understand. There were others, of course. Good people. People with whom I felt a kinship, whose lives I could not save. I found myself asking what it was all for. Why try if I was doomed to fail in the end? But then I recalled Grandfather's words to my father, years ago, before he left Charlayan behind forever. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. We must all protect that which we hold most dear in the manner of our own choosing. We have to try, do we not? Of course, it's one thing to try and another to do. There were times while I was tracking the warriors of darkness when I faltered, when I was afraid. But then I thought of my brother, of Urianger.
The role is quite awesome. I've done a lot to it. The Firebird would be cool one day, but not yet. Sounds like you've been busy then.
Oh, pray forgive me.
Hopefully you're good
This
practice. It's good
conversation has
practice.
been rather one-sided, hasn't it? Mayhap you could recount some of your adventures in Ishgard.
I haven't exactly been at talking a lot, Alice. I traveled far and wide with two companions, Justinian and Asael, who were very under some rather unique circumstances. I had the pleasure to fight alongside her Emmerich. Alphinaud and I came at last to the Javanian hinterlands. Actually, I could tell her about the hinterlands. That was where she was born.
We had no clear memories of our life in the hinterlands, having returned to the motherland as infants. Nevertheless, I am quite familiar with Master Matoya, as is every Charlayan. I should like to speak with her someday. 'Twould not surprise me if Alphinaud's recent maturation was at least somewhat due to her sage guidance. I would never tell him this, of course, but there have been moments when I've caught myself thinking of him as an elder brother.
You know, I realized I barely talked to you and I've known you since I was like 8th grade. God damn, you're a junior now? Jeez. Fuck. Long time.
The hopes and dreams of so many rest on your shoulders, warrior of light. As long as the sun rises, we can but carry on, for the sake of those we hold dear.
There he is. Warrior of Darkness. There's a crystal.
To what end dost thou cling to the tainted gifts of the mother?
And alright, decided to get out of high school. Damn. Got a couple more years on you. A year and a half.
Every tool has its purpose.
No, 2 years now, right? Did you just start?
Even this.
If you're a junior? Junior's third year, right? I forgot.
What is it?
The seeds sown in Vilbrand have been plucked from the earth and left to wither. Alas, Titan's demise sufficed not to drive the kobolds to deepest desperation.
What did the man in white have to say?
That we are to proceed as he did first set forth.
Well, that's easy for him to say. It's not his bloody world on the brink of destruction, is it?
Oh, started junior 3 weeks ago? So yeah, you got 2 years.
Be thou well reminded that with an end to Ishgard's unrest, naught now remaineth to preoccupy the Scion's thoughts. And thus may they devote their every energy to thwarting thee and thine. I foresee only greater difficulties ahead.
Foresee? Are you sure you don't welcome them? I'm starting to think you might hold a candle for your old friends after all.
Wait, is this?
Pray do not mistake mine intent. I but look upon the path which lieth before us with due trepidation.
Is that Urianger?
Shouldst thou be of like mind, pray consider then another course. For the power to invoke the ardour belongeth not unto the Ascians alone.
Go a thing is done though, well.
With thine own hand strike down thine enemy, the so-called hero who would see thy home lost to light. Do but this, and thou wouldst at a single stroke disrupt the all too delicate balance of this realm, plunging her straightways into chaos.
I'm gonna kill me.
You do realize what you're suggesting, yes?
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. The words of my teacher, and a creed I hold close to my heart.
Who administrator doesn't believe, so they don't care about it? Goddamn. This is definitely Urianger.
Very well. Draw her out. We'll make it quick.
It shall be done.
He said you're old friends. He says shit like Goliath.
What good a creed one cannot uphold? What hurts soothed? What lives saved? Oh, hapless fool, what hast thou wrought by thine own hands? Minfilia, my friends, I shall not now beg your forgiveness.
Knew it.
Full deeply though it paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from my chosen path. As Moonbreeder remains steadfast, so too shall I.
Well, he hasn't. The elves, or Elizin, I guess, in this game, are tall usually. But Urianger straight up just told him he has to kill me. What the fuck? Thought he was my buddy, my pal. Well, then again, he was. I did see him fucking conspire with the Ascians. What ho, Sarahs, I trust you had a good night's rest? I was but this moment speaking with Thancred and Yashchola via link pearl. They had some interesting news to share. Apparently, during the course of their respective investigations, both came across crates which had once borne Ishgardian seals. It would seem that someone in the capital has been very busy indeed. Accordingly, the Temple Knights have launched a full-scale investigation. Sir Emmerich believes that it is only a matter of time before the culprits are found, but we shall have wait to see. In the meantime, it seems only prudent to look into the recent activities of the other tribes, in case they too are flushed with Ishgardian crystals. With that in mind, I suggest we pay Urianger a visit. I guess you are dying today. I guess I'm dying. At least... Wait, where's Alice? She was here but a moment ago. With Gabu. Oh. He was the Shakespeare buddy too. He kept speaking like that. Let me guess, it's your time to leave, isn't it? My apologies for disappearing again. If it is any consolation, I have already packed my things. How is he? Brother, Commander Bleeden. Something tells me you're not solely here out for the concern of his welfare. But to answer your question, there has been no change. He will not speak or eat. Not even sure if he slept. If he did, he seems none the better for it. He just shuffles about with that same expression on his face. You will look after him, won't you, Commander? And treat him with every kindness? He's still in there, I know it. Beneath the anguish and the despair, he's still fighting with all his heart. He deserves to be given that chance until he comes back to us. Until we know for certain what has become of him. Aye, you needn't worry. If you hadn't risked his neck to warn us and help you secure the better part of the crystals, this could have turned out a damn sight worse than it did. We'll not soon forget that, and nor will Maelstrom Command. I'm so sorry, Gabu. I truly am. You should never have been made to, and I know I cannot possibly understand. Mayhap there's nothing I can do or say. The pain, the anger, helplessness. Hold fast to the memories of better times. Remember them as they were. When it hurts so much your heart feels fit to burst, let it burst. Let it burst and fill up again with your love for them. And never ever forget. Let's go, and I have a test in the morning and it's math. Oh boy. Well, good luck with that. Good night. Hey, I'll remember that. And you, Alice. Thank you. My face, sister. Your words have reached him. In time, he will recover. And those who orchestrated these events will be made to answer for their crimes. Thousand times over, there will be a reckoning. Yeah, good night. Good night. How dare they hurt the little kobold? He's just a child. Turn to the waking sands. I forgot what I was going for a second there. We've heard the glad tidings from Ogomoro, my friends. By the grace of the 12 and your most valiant efforts, the people of Limsa Lominza may rest easy. I should like to think so, yes. Though we failed to prevent the Lord of Crags from manifesting, we did succeed in weakening him. Enabling our friend to dispatch him before the Warriors of Darkness could make matters worse. It was by no means an unmitigated success, but it will have to suffice. Let's speak of another matter, one which weigheth heavy on my lady's mind. At Zald's request, I sought out the Garin oracles, that we might better understand the aims of the Warriors of Darkness. Though their copious use of allegory defieth any single interpretation, the oracles paint a most disturbing picture, one of worlds parallel to our own, apart yet linked, reduced to ruin with every umbral calamity. 7 times have they succeeded, then of 10 and 3, only 6 worlds remain. Damn. Aye, all is as my lady Menphilia spake unto thee. As for what becometh of these reflections when they and the source are rejoined, frail flesh undone in umbral fires, each soul surrendereth to her call, to flow unto the endless sea, there to endure as one and more, one and none. Then if the Warriors of Darkness succeed, everyone in their world will die? In essence, the verse speaketh of the renunciation of the flesh and subsequent returneth to the life stream. However, this fate may yet be preferable to the alternative, for if the first were to fall to transcendent light in the manner of the Warriors of Darkness described, it would give way unto a void wherein none may know either life or death. Or better to die, they reason, for in death there is life. The essence of a soul which returneth unto the source may be born anew. Saved, such as least was their belief, I surmise. If that is true, then gods, no one should ever have to make such a choice. Ere we speak further on this subject, I would share with thee another recent discovery. It would seem that several sizable shipments of crystals have been delivered into the hands of certain Alamegan parties. Alamegan? Strange. Can you believe this to be the work of the same Ishgardian smugglers who supplied the beast tribes? I know beyond the shadow of a doubt. Unless thou wonder at their motive, I would remind you that the Axians did once attempt to bring about the summoning of Rhalgr. The individuals who took receipt of these shipments are refugees belonging to a group devout to the cause of Alamegan liberation. It may also interest thee to know that their Ishgardian suppliers appear to be none other than the remnants of Eileen Wayu's network of spies. Really a chest, and yet it's not so surprising. Bereft of leadership and hunted by the Alliance, I can well imagine such villains being desperate enough to conspire with the Asians, assuming they even know or care who their new employers are. All of which is irrelevant, forgive me. We must seek out the resistance group which received the crystals without delay. Theris, Alizai, will you come with me to Little Alamigo? Yes, of course. I should like to hear what they have to say for themselves firsthand. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal? He's suspicious of him. Alphino, Alizai, Ceres. Are you 3 listening? Good. I have tidings. The Temple Knights raided the smuggler's warehouse less than an hour ago. A cursory interrogation of the prisoners yielded confirmation that they were in the employ of, and help you sitting down, a man in black robes. Then you have them, and the crystals too. What few remained, regrettably, it would seem they dispatched one final shipment in the hours before we struck. It was bound for Little Alamigo, we are told, where it will be received by members of a local resistance group. Since Sir Emmerich men no longer have need of my services, I have in mind to head that way. As do we. By happy coincidence, we learned of the shipments but a few moments ago. And there I was thinking I might finally be one step ahead of the Warrior of Light and her little helpers. Wait a moment, there's more, and I defy you not to be surprised by this revelation. The leader of the Ishgardian smugglers was formerly in the employ of Eileen Wayu, the infamous Ivy herself. Once again, Thancred, I fear I must inform you that... Thancred, with whom else have you shared this information? About the smugglers? No one. As I think I mentioned, the raid was less than an hour ago. I was planning to contact Yashola next, but is there someone else you would have me notify first? No, there isn't. What in the world has gotten into her? It is twice now we have sought Urianger's aid, and twice she has treated him as if he were a stranger. The Archon was one of Grandfather's most dedicated pupils, and spent as much time at the Leveilleur estate as we did. Practically a member of the family. To be told, I struggle to recall a day from my childhood when I did not see the three of them laughing together. If this continues, I may have to raise the matter. Later though. Little Alamigo awaits. Little Alamigo awaits indeed. Wonder if they know that if that one guy ended up dying. I will get to the bottom of this. Oh, forgive me, it's been a long day. Did you have something to say? Urianger. Oh, I've always struggled to understand what's going on in his head. Now more than ever. Listen, sirs, if anything should happen, it should be me whom. Just know that I am prepared to do what must be done. Right then, more pressing matters. Since we have no idea where Thancred might arrive, or when Thancred might arrive, I suggest we see what information we can gather in his absence. So, to review, we are reliably informed that members of Alamigan resistance operating here have taken receipt of several large shipments of crystals, our task being to ascertain who and why. Given the size of the settlement, I find it hard to believe that anyone here could be wholly unaware of the resistance's movement. The challenge, of course, will be finding individuals who are both able and willing to share such information with outsiders. It would seem sensible to divide our forces, Ceres. Why don't you question the residents in the eastern half of the town? Alessia and I will do the same in the west. Afterwards, we can rendezvous here to share our findings. Sounds like a good plan. Let me guess, come to join the fight, have you? None of you deny it, friend. You are not the first to answer the Griffin's call. While he's lit a fire in every Alamigan's heart, he also inspired more than a few Uldans to pledge themselves to the gods. A little wonder, the Guardians won't stop until we're all under the yoke. There's somebody new here. Oh fuck it. I see you there going around asking questions, looking for the Griffin and his lot, I bet. Seems they're the talk of little Alamigo these days. Folk wondering what he's about. What he's got in store for the Guardians. What's under the mask of his, of course. Some say he's hardly got a face, what with all the scars. Others reckon he's been marked for death by the Empire, and that they send a bloody legion if they knew he was here. Your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, the Resistance? Damned if I know, it's not as if I'd be any use to them. If you set store by these tales of secret weapons, good luck to you. But I'm too old for the mask's bedtime stories. This is our lot, and it's time we got used to it. There's somebody called the Griffin who lit a heart within the Resistance. Lit the fire within the Resistance. Suppose I should ask what you learned, but I think I already know. The Griffin seems to be the leader of a newly formed faction within the Resistance, the Masks. Yet despite their growing popularity, no one seems to know much about them. Only that they are the most aggressively militant group to join the movement in recent memory. Indeed, many claim they're committed to the cause of Alamigan liberation is unrivaled. We can but hope their revolutionary fervor is never channeled in the direction of a primal. Though I feel confident that this is the group which received the crystal shipments, we yet lack proof. Before taking any action, I would speak with the settlement's leader to confirm my suspicions. Mayhap enlist his help while I'm about it. Given that you and Gundobald are already acquainted, mayhap it will be best if you... Okay. Yeah. I wonder if he knows that the one person died. Much as it pleases me to see you again, Ceres, I cannot help but wonder if I should be worried. I hear you and yours have been asking questions. The Griffin? I know of him, as do we all. He and his masks have become a leading faction within the Resistance. Though there was suspicion at first given his secretive ways, he quickly proved himself a charismatic and capable commander. Men are drawn to his passion and his vision. They truly believe that he has what it takes to lead them to victory. but I cannot help but admire the man for what he's. Even I cannot help but admire the man for what he's accomplished, but I've not forgotten Wilred. I was blind to the danger of his ambitions, and you were not. The Griffin will soon deliver a speech to our people at the sunken temple of Karn. Go and see him with your own eyes. Weigh his words with your own heart. How convenient. 'Tis but a pity Thancred is not here to join us. You two go on ahead. I shall stay behind and wait for him. Righty then. Really? Oh shit. I can't fly higher than this? What the fuck? I get to fly through there? Oh, they're here. Oh, really? Alright. How far it is. Really? This is as far as I could go in the entire area? Weird.
Brothers and sisters, 20 years ago, Alamigo, our home, was claimed by the Garlean Empire. In our haste to overthrow the King of Ruin, we turned a blind eye to our foes in the north. With our glorious revolution, we but laid a path for a new tyrant to succeed the old. And when confronted with our failure, we fled. Not a day goes by that I do not think of those we left behind. Think of them and feel ashamed. And I know each and every one of you feels the same. We abandoned them, our own flesh and blood, to labor till their backs gave in and their breath gave out, building the twisted steel ramparts which now mar our once majestic mountains.
Is this Ilbert?
We abandoned them, the brave and true, to fight and die for their country, or worse, to be conscripted and sent off to rob another poor bastard of his home. We abandoned them, the meek and powerless, to bow and scrape when the Garleans pass, to sully themselves that they might live to see another day of misery. The Black Wolf may be dead, but a new Imperial Viceroy reigns in Alamigo now. A beast, not a fraction as merciful. You all know the Eorzean Alliance will do naught to oppose him. For all their promises and platitudes, they will not act if there's no profit in it. Only we can free our brothers and sisters from the Empire's tyranny, my friends. Only we have the courage to stand and fight. They have imprisoned us. They have enslaved us. And they have murdered us, but no more! Blood demands blood, and the Garleans shall pay for every drop they have spilt upon our lands. This I promise you, for we have a power within us, my friends. A power befitting our pride, our righteousness. Only join us, and we shall grant you the means to unleash it, and together we shall see the Alamigan standard raised over the mountains of Gia Arbania once more!
A power befitting their pride. Not at all ominous, that. Wait, is that...
Mira, Papa Limo.
What are you two doing here?
I could ask you the same thing.
Well, this is quite the surprise.
Yeah, it's quite a surprise.
If you see what I see, if you feel as I feel,
Might I suggest we continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings?
for it is not strength of arms that will win this battle, but strength of heart.
That's definitely Ilberd. Yeah, that man. Sounds like him, at least from what I remember how he sounded like. We're just gonna express how glad I am to see you both alive and well. And you, though it was pretty obvious you and Sarah's would be fine. The Crystal Braves never had a realistic chance of capturing any of the Scions, divided as they were and distrusted by the better part of Eorzea. But if you truly believe that, forgive me, what exactly have you two been doing all this time? Repaying a favor. After the banquet, we had no choice but to flee Ul'dah, and we would not have been able to do so without the aid of some old friends from the Resistance. That's right, they smuggled us out of the city and sheltered us in Little Alamigo. All at great risk to themselves, obviously. We couldn't let that go unacknowledged, so we offered to help them out with their operations for a while. When we learned of the Scion's exoneration that Lolorito had severed all ties with the Crystal Braves, and that General Rauban had been reinstated, we resolved to make contact, but having long since discarded our link pearls as a precautionary measure, our options were rather limited. To make matters more complicated, we were embroiled in a delicate operation at the time, leaving me with little choice but to entrust a letter to a courier. I gather from your puzzled expressions, however, that you never received it. To be honest, we thought this might happen. While the masks are happy to let the refugees spread the word within the community, they're pretty strict about communicating with outsiders. Oh, and we also heard a rumor that the Griffin doesn't want us meddling in his affairs. The Griffin mistrusts the Scions of the Seventh Dawn? Curious. It is well known that we are no friends to Garlemald. One would think the man we saw beseeching all and sundry to join his cause would welcome our support. Ah, I should say that the man you saw was not in fact the Griffin, but an impersonator. And a talented rabble-rouser to boot. It would not surprise me if he were responsible for the majority of these public appearances. As I may have gathered, the Griffin is an extremely cautious and distrusting man who has made every effort to conceal his identity. Even when we participated in a raid under his direct command, we were not permitted to approach him. It's hard to know what to make of it all. The secrecy, the impersonators, the masks. I really want to talk. What? It's not as if I'm making all of you wear one. Mine only covers half my face. It's completely different. Anyway, we heard the Griffin was due to give a speech. We thought it might be a good opportunity to get a better sense of the man behind the, For all the good it did. And now you have heard the whole of it. But tell me, what prompted you to take an interest in the Griffin? Summoning? You're not serious. I can't believe it. The Resistance would never entertain such a ridiculous plan. But the Griffin... Oh, the man is an enigma. I cannot say with any confidence what he would or would not do. What I can say, however, is that the speech we heard today was not the first to make reference to a power capable of defeating the Empire. The masks have made many such claims of late, I confess. I had assumed it be mere bluster, but in the context of the shipments of which you spoke, it is not impossible that they are alluding to a primal. Whatever it is, we'll find out together, and if anyone tries to stop us, they'll answer to me. Indeed, that is assuming you'll have us. Yeah, of course. If, as you suspect, the Griffin is indeed plotting to summon a primal, we must needs obtain confirmation while there is yet time to act. To that end, I propose we question his double. Given his role as the group's de facto mouthpiece, I should not be surprised if he were one of the Griffin's closest associates. While he may not be aware of the most sensitive details, he can probably tell us the master plan in broad strokes. Like the man whom he impersonates, however, he is wary of outsiders. He will not expose himself without suitable incentive. My plan is as follows. You and Alphino will pose as adventurers fallen on hard times, inspired by his words, and take up arms for a noble cause. Ida and I, as members of the Resistance, will recount tales of your past achievements and testify as to your usefulness in the struggles ahead. With our enthusiastic assurances still ringing in his ears, he will decide to welcome you in person, and we will arrange a meeting. We will need to look at the part that we might maintain the charade. So we have him cornered at least here. This should be enough to purchase suitable garments from Tailbot and to have him rub a respectable amount of dirt on them for good measure. Any questions? It all seems simple enough. Thank you, and with that, sirs, let us be off. Brum, 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 brum. Eh, you wanna buy what? I don't know what you're up to, but I want no part of it. Got money. Well, you're the ones with the gill, and seeing as your friends at Papa Limo. There, tunic and slobs for the both of you. Tailored and are treated to your taste. Off with you before someone sees us together. Clothes maketh the man, as they say. Right then, I will go and change and see you at the spot Papa Limo marked on the maps. Wearing the weathered shepherd's tunic and slobs. Yeah, I have that one. Still look like quite the adventure, though. Oh, it's outside. He'll learn the hard way that you can't fly out there. Well then, Alphino, looking rather dashing. Well, look at us, a pair of down-at-heel adventurers seeking a chance to recapture past glories. Yes, this should suffice. And now we play the waiting game.
My thanks, comrades. You must be the esteemed adventurers of whom I've heard so much. I understand you have taken an interest in our cause.
A great interest, you might say. Your words have certainly made quite an impression on my friend and I. The Resistance has long, and some would say wisely, avoided open engagements with the Garleans, but you and yours seem confident against the world in arms. I can only assume you have good reason to be so bold. Why, one might even think you are planning to summon a primal. Because that would do much to explain the sizable shipment of crystals you recently received from your smuggler friends, whom our Ishgardian allies have since detained, lest you wonder.
I'd like to hear more about the Griffin. The real Griffin. Your performance earlier didn't fool us.
Ah, the famous scions of the Seventh Dawn. I should have known better than to think I could conceal the truth from you lot. You are right. I am not the Griffin, but I speak with his voice, and it was at his behest that we procured those crystals. You are wrong, however, if you think that we procured them to summon a primal. We used them to reach an accord with the Amalja. In exchange for crystals to summon their god, they will aid us in the fight for Alamegan liberation.
You've got to be joking! Have you gone completely mad? When people find out you helped the Lizardmen summon Ifrit, they'll turn on the Resistance. Alamigo will never be free!
This isn't a fairy tale, girl. We don't have the luxury to play at being honorable heroes. It's because the likes of you wouldn't sully your saintly hands that Alamigo's been under the yoke for the past 20 years. But the Griffin won't stand for it, and neither will we. We're ready to do whatever it takes.
What proof do you have of this arrangement with the Amalja?
What? Aside from a lack of crystals? None. But the beastmen have a great big pile of the things if you fancy looking. You might want to hurry, though. It'll not be long before they summon their god. Search our camp if you don't believe me. We have naught to hide.
If there is a cache to be found, Ida and I will find it.
Then let us be off. Are you perchance the Warrior of Light?
I'm something. Not a warrior, but a bard.
Aye, I thought so. You should know that a great many who have joined us did so because you saved them. Because you showed them that one brave woman can make a difference. You saved me too once. Helped a friend over in Quarry Mill make some medicine I needed. But that was a lifetime ago.
It's you?
On behalf of my brothers and sisters, I thank you. You gave us hope where there was none, courage and strength when all was lost. We shall not squander your gift.
That was this guy. I remember that. Summoning a primal will do more harm than good.
I know that look, Ida, and I do not like it. You cannot seriously be contemplating taking up arms with that band of cutthroats.
I just...
If the Griffin and his men have their way, it is only a matter of time before the situation in Alamigo comes to a head. Your homeland's future teeters on a knife edge, and any reckless action, however small, could have irrevocable consequences. You mustn't lose sight of that, Ida. When the time comes, we must all make our choices, but we must do so in full possession of the facts. Now, let us away. There is work to be done.
So she's from Amigan? Check this off now. Quarry, he said. Do you remember? Forgive me, you cannot be expected to recall every name and face, and besides, it's not as if it matters. I've long admired how you live in the present, how you focus on the problems at hand and always keep moving forward. Let us keep moving forward together, Ceres. We must find and secure those crystals. This is no time to be looking back. I go with the Flognard. If we take the Griffin's double at his word, when the crystals are now somewhere within Zahar-Ak, ready to be used by the Amalja. We must appraise Alisay of all we have learned. I will join you both in Little Alamigo after I have changed. Look, Thancred's here. Now that Thancred has finally arrived, mayhap you could share your latest findings. You mean to tell me that while we were worrying ourselves sick, Ida and Papalymo were here all along? Well, the Ashilla will be relieved, and also angry. Mainly angry, I should think. As for the crystals, what choice do we have? We cannot very well leave them in the hands of the Amalja. For all we know, they could be preparing to summon Ifrit even as we speak. We must make for Zaharak without delay. Agreed. If there is not else to discuss, let us depart at once. We're being watched. So they go forth in accordance with the Griffin's plan. The players gather to assume their marks on a stage wreathed in flame. Ere long, the curtain shall rise, and the drama of which I am author, God forgive me, shall at last be performed. Naught else remaineth, save to stand at the ready and pray that the chance is seized. For never shall we know its like again. What the fuck did I happen?